What's up, teams? Today I want to talk a little bit about 1RM testing. Just the other day, Johnny posted a video of a 415-pound back squat, which, not taking anything away from that, that was effing awesome. The thing I didn't like, though, is that based on that video, I'm going to say Johnny had at least 425, if not 430 in him for a single. And so let's talk about some things surrounding true 1RM testing that we want to see. First and foremost, I asked if it was a PR and found a little bit later that it was not, in fact, a PR, and that during the session, not everybody was clear on what the previous PR was. So right out of the gate, know your numbers. So when I say know your numbers, this applies to back squats, Fran times, rowing, time trials, anything. Know exactly what we are capable of so that we know exactly what we are capable of. And what I mean by that is if I know that in July 2011 I rowed a 5K in 1844 and I'm retesting that today, coming off a 5-month aerobic power cycle, then I should be able to do something less than 1844. Now, I sit down on the rower, and I open up, and I set my pace, and I'm cruising, I'm going along, projected finish time of 1847, let's say. Now, if I know that I had an 1844 in me 2 years ago or more, and back when I wasn't even training that hard, then I know that today I should be able to best this. And so sometimes just the awareness, seeing that number on the screen and knowing that I should be able to beat it will allow me to beat it. But if I sit down and I go just by feel, which we'll talk about feel down the road, if I go just by feel, then I might find myself rowing in 1850, get done with that, open up my book, see 1844 and realize I totally had 6 seconds. I had 6 seconds or 7 seconds or 10 seconds. And that, you know what, if I had just known what I was capable of, then I could have seen something more interesting happen on that road time. And the same goes true for the back squat that we saw. So we had a previous back squat of 420 and ended up with 415. And anyone who saw that video, in fact, let's plug it in right here, knows that Johnny should have PR'd on the back squat. Right? Should have PR'd. 425, if not 430, is what I'm saying, just based on the bar speed and what he looked like after the lift. So if we had gone in with better awareness, now I'm going to say, let's say he did 5 singles to get to this 415, right? And it went, I don't know, but let's just throw some numbers out. He ended at 415, and maybe he went 405, and 395, and 385. Felt good about 415 and shut it down, right? Opens up the book later on, cooled down, 420, damn it. Well, what if we looked at something like this where, okay, we knew that 420 plus is the goal, and then I'm gonna say, okay, I've got 4 sets, how am I gonna get past this? And so I need to plug this in somewhere around here. So that means after my good warm up, I might need to see something like 415, maybe I tie my PR at 420, see how that bar feels, and feels really good, and I go for 430, right? Based on starting with a knowledge that more than 420 was my goal, instead of going by feel and getting up to heavy for the day, which is a relevant way to train. But if I truly want to know what my maximal expression of strength is, then I need to know what my previous maximal expression of strength is so that I can build some awareness around that and how I do my warm-up, how I do my work sets, how I pace out that progression. And we might find that some lifters do something better with like big jumps. So he might have gone 400, 420, 425, 430. Valid way to go about it, but what we'd see then is, then we'd look at total volume. So if I add these up, I've got 1250, 1265 in total volume if I do the set this way, and here I've got, I need something, 1665, and over here I've got 1655, 75. 1675. So only a 10-pound difference in total volume that we're looking at for these work sets, but a significant difference from what we saw here if we just started from a place of awareness relative to our 1 max. And the same is true for our ladies. We were looking at some snatch video the other day, and I saw some things relative to these loading, and I think, forgive me for forgetting who it was, maybe Kelly. not super relevant, but I saw something like 95, 115, 125, miss, and then 120, and I think I saw a miss there as well. Now, what we see though is that depending on the technique and the strength, which one is more important, and snatch is obviously both, we want to see maybe some smaller jumps here, because she should have had this and she could have had this. But once we miss, it sets this cascade of, I'm just going to call it a failure cascade. And we've all seen it. We miss a lift that was 10 pounds under PR, then we drop down 10 more pounds and can't get it, we drop down 10 more pounds and can't get it, and then we just leave the gym angry. And so what if we saw something like 100, 105, 115, 117 and a half kind of thing, right? So maybe this was her previous PR and we still get this, and then she's feeling good in 120 miss but close, and we see 120 again, and then we get it. This progression looks a lot different on the back end than this progression right here. And we may even still have a miss in there, but we're kind of priming the mechanism, right? Setting our body, setting our brain up for some success based on loading these things with a much more gradual implementation. And depending on the lifter and how I'll respond to somebody in this situation is based on what I saw last time. So next time, after watching Kelly's 1RM snatch, and Natalie and Angie as well, Beatrice as well, actually, we might see something that looks like, okay, we get a nice good warm up, and we know her previous is 115, so I might start her at 105. And then based on that lift, nailed it. All right, now I'm gonna go to 115. Well, I liked it, but I didn't love it. But you know what? I'm expecting her for today to hit 130, so we're actually gonna go to 120. Ooh, 120 was solid again, and she feels really good. And so even though she feels great and could go to 130, I'm gonna hold her back at 125 so that I can get another really solid lift, because now my confidence is going up, right? We've smashed the PR, right? We're gonna call this a win, we're gonna call this a win. I'm destroying it, and now riding the wave of this, not just because she's a better lifter, but also we're getting everything moving in the right direction. Her strength is up, her technique is up, and just those good lifting vibes are up. It's one of the things that happens when we train in a group, right? There's good energy in the room. And so not only does this happen, but then we've got Angie over here who hits 125, and we got Beatrice over here who hits 110 from her previous of 95, and then we're gonna see Natalie come up with a 130. All because these people were following this really healthy progression into their true 1RM. Because what a 1RM is, right? The weight that you can only lift one time when everything is going right. That's your true 1RM. Couldn't lift another pound, couldn't lift another ounce when it's all dialed. And if we don't set ourselves up with a good loading progression on these things, that's gonna come from awareness, then we are not setting ourselves up to have all the things moving in the right direction to truly express maximal force production. Whether it be limited by technique, limited by true strength, limited by what I had for lunch that day, all these stuff moving in the right direction so that I can truly see what I'm capable of. So hopefully that's making sense. Hopefully it's gonna help people shape their lifting progressions once they start loading that barbell. Know your numbers. If you're not journaling, then I don't even know what you're doing in this program. Making sure you're writing this stuff down, keeping track so we can really see what folks are capable of on these testing days. That being said, tomorrow, hopefully you see this video today. If you don't, well, you're just in for a surprise. We're changing the program up. Super excited. Nothing to do with kind of pre-Thanksgiving beatdown. Kind of just want to see what some folks are going to be doing with it. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Kalsu. And if you haven't done it before, Kalsu is only 100 thrusters for time. All right, that's it. We're gonna have our men do this at 135 pounds, and we're gonna have our ladies do this at 95 pounds. And for the sake of recovery, we're gonna put a time cap on this workout of 30 minutes. Now, I would love to see some folks in the 15-ish minute category or faster. We're gonna put a 30-minute time cap on this. XCF team and the CFOC team is gonna be doing the exact same workout as well as our class program in the gym here tomorrow. So it should be pretty good energy. So 100 throws for time, caveat, 5 burpees on the minute. OTM. If you see that in the notations when I send you guys programming. 5 burpees on the minute. So we're gonna start this on thrusters, max thrusters. As soon as the clock clicks around to 1 minute, you're gonna do 5 burpees, do them, and then back on your barbell. Thruster, 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 top of minute 2, 5 more burpees, and back on thrusters. It's pretty good. I've had fun with this one in the past. I've done it a couple times. I'm right around the 13-minute mark for this workout. So, note of advice to you. do more thrusters in minute 1 than you do in any other minute, and then probably the second most you should do is in minute 2. So the more thrusters you do in the early rounds, the faster it's over. Kind of a secret that not everybody is hip to, because this thing can drag on. So have fun with that tomorrow. Hopefully it made some sense to you on the 1RM stuff. Have a good Thanksgiving, and I will see you guys online.